patriarchy.
You walk through the world with a different experience because you are a white woman.
White women feel the desperate need to be nice. It's white women's niceness that is killing us all.
It's because you can then misuse words like oppression. There has been no oppression for the white man in this country.
What's funny is that it seems like the Democrats are just people like her. If there's no racial element to it, they don't care. And it's a constant thing where black people are trying to make white people feel guilty about something they never did and something we never were. Jasmine Crockett is at it again. She is trying to explain to white people why you guys are the most racist people in the world, and how oppressed black people are. So she goes on this rant and tangent about this. Yeah. She's not even embarrassed.
While sitting in a privileged spot as a black person.
Right. So let's
that make sense.
Let's listen to what Jasmine has to say.
It's because you can then misuse words like oppression. There has been no oppression for the white man in this country. You tell me which white men were dragged out of their homes. You tell me which one of them got dragged all the way across an ocean and told that you are going to go and work. We are going to steal your wives. We are going to rape your wives. That didn't happen. That is oppression. We didn't ask to be here. We not the same migrants that y'all constantly come up against. We didn't run away from home. We were stolen. So yeah, we are going to sit here and be offended when you want to sit here and act like, and don't let it escape you that it is white men on this side of the aisle telling us, people of color on this side of the aisle, that y'all are the ones being oppressed.
White men on the Republican side of the aisle are telling her that she's not oppressed, but the slave owners, the Democrats, white men,
right,
who originally stole us,
yeah,
that she sits with,
right,
and stomping with. Those are the racists,
right.
The racists are the Republican white men who freed you,
yes,
and you sit with the Democrats who stole you,
right. Now.
And we weren't stolen as much as black Africans sold us for mirrors, liquor, something that small,
rum, to
the colonizers and to the Arabs.
This was not called the transatlantic steal. This is a trade. It's not a steal. It's a trade. It's a bad business, but it's a trade.
And it was legal. And also, you are more mad that you are going to lose DEI. Because you are DEI.
Yeah. She's grandstanding. And this is the type... Okay, so whenever a woman doesn't need the microphone to be that loud, you want to stay far away from that person. Because she can... There's points there where she got away from the microphone. You still hear her like she's in the microphone. That means that she's loud all the time. Right? Okay. This is stupid to me. This is what people do, though, you guys. They're trying to make white people uncomfortable, and it's not working anymore. This is why she's losing it. It's not working anymore. White people are not uncomfortable anymore. They don't care. We told you guys a long time ago, a lot of white people, look, be ready to be called racist. That's next. And she's doing it right there. She's being racist right there. And it's fine. It's perfectly fine. There's no big deal with her talking like that.
While she sits there with fake hair, fake eyelashes, and fake nails talking about white people. You want to look like a white lady, but you want to sound like an oppressed black lady. Just stop. It's just embarrassing after a while. You know what I mean? Like after a while when you're sitting with the man.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you're sitting with the very people, the very system that you call, systemically racist, and you sit with them.
Yeah.
And you're still acting like some kind of victim. It's pathetic. It just so is pathetic. And, look, this is why these people don't like it. Right. They're afraid, like Joy Reid and Al Sharpton and, Louis Farrakhan, all these people. If you take away the race thing, because you can.
Easy.
Then they lose their jobs.
Yeah.
because there is no need for that anymore. Democrats, and even white Democrats, they don't win unless there is some sort of oppression tactic, because they have no policies. That's the reason why Kamala lost. She had no policies.
Right.
All she was this kind of black woman.
Yeah.
You know, and that was it. That was all she really had, was, I'm not Trump, I'm black.
That's it. And woman. This is what, you know, what's funny is that it seems like the Democrats are just people like her. If there's no racial element to it, they don't care. And it's a constant thing where it's supposed to be where black people are trying to make white people feel guilty about something they never did and something we never were. I was watching this Tucker Carlson thing, video, and these two women of color talk to white people and explain to them why they're racist. And it's so, and I thought this was like a parody, like a spoof. I didn't think it was real, but this is a real thing. I think actually Matt Walsh did it.
This is Matt Walsh, probably, I think.
Oh, no, this is before he did Counts movie.
Oh, really?
This is a long time ago.
It looks like
these people's tour.
It looked like the thing that he had on his video.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same dinner. They do these dinners, this particular group of people, or this two ladies. I think Matt did go to theirs.
There's a new documentary about Saira Rao and her partner. It's called Deconstructing Karen. And it's about Saira and her partner Regina Jackson and their new company, Race2Dinner. So these two essentially host dinners for liberal wine moms all over the country. Here's how it works. A group of affluent white women pool $5,000 to hire these two, Jackson and Rao, to come to their home for a dinner party. And then over the course of the night, they demean and degrade them and call them racist. They're paid to do that. It's a weird masochism ritual. Watch.
I am a liberal white woman. We are absolutely the most dangerous women out there. We are the most dangerous women that exist because we're going to love a little more because we're good freaking people. No, we are erasing their experiences. We are erasing their lives. We are erasing the danger that they're in.
I'm an artist and a barista, and I learned about this through Saira, through your Facebook. The reason I'm here is because I've always thought of myself as being like kind of woke. And I mean, you know, my best friend is Mexican. My partner is biracial. We have these conversations all the time. But then through following your posts and interacting on your posts, I realized I'm not doing that great. And I feel like there's a racist white man living in my brain, and it's my dad's voice.
So as the rich white ladies attack themselves, the instructors join in. You think you're bad? You're even worse than that. Watch.
You know what I expect of white women? Not a damn thing. Nothing. I expect nothing of you because you have never given me anything. I can't trust you.
You guys need to pull your heads out of your asses, acknowledge your own racism, make it right, stop caping for white dudes, join us, and let's overthrow the patriarchy.
You walk through the world with a different experience because you are a white woman.
White women feel the desperate need to be nice. It's white women's niceness that is killing us all.
At these dinners, we see white women behaving badly.
White Democratic women are attacking white Republican women and vice versa, and you both are taking the moral high ground, and you're all the same. Before the dinners, white women respond much better to other white women than they would with us, and that, in a nutshell, is white supremacy.
Well, I mean, to me, this sounds like feminism. It doesn't sound like racism. It seems like what they're doing is what they did in the civil rights era, because black women were trying to fight for civil rights, but then feminism came in and made them
push them over.
It's like she said it. She said, you need to get over yourself and be able to take over the patriarchy.
Yeah, we dismantle.
So this is to dismantle women.
Yeah.
So that they can then band together against men. So this is exactly what happened during the civil rights era. Black women left the civil rights movement and moved into the feminist movement.
This is a man-hating situation as well. Like, they're doing it under the guise of racism. But what's more amazing to me are really the white women, because white women left, you know, the liberal white women. They have this weird guilt, and I don't think it's even real guilt. I think it's fake. I think it's trying to be included in a group. I don't believe it. See what I'm saying? Like, I don't believe these women really feel sad about.
Well, this is the reason
You know
why
what I mean?
women. This is the reason why women shouldn't be in charge. See, because these things only happen to women,
yeah.
first. So even in the Bible, when you talk about the apple,
Yeah.
and the serpent went to Eve first, because women are more likely to be manipulated.
Yeah.
He didn't go to Adam.
Right.
Adam probably would have been in his logic, even though Adam did eat the apple of his wife. But the truth is that it always goes to the woman first. When we did a video, we did kind of a video on the Uncle Tom video or the documentary, Chad Jackson, and the guy that did the Black Lives Matter, the guy that was what's his name?
I don't know.
The white guy. Anyway, Patrice Cullors and the other two ladies, he's known them since they were like 17 years old.
Right.
We saw them as, older, but he's been working on those girls since
Eric Mann.
Eric Mann, that's it. Yeah. He'd been working those girls, inner city girls, black women since they were like 17 years old. And he's a Marxist, and she even said on video, I'm a trained Marxist. In a car though, he did say, when we want a revolution, we always go to women and women of color. White people can't white people can't do a revolution. Only people of color, but I primarily work with women. And why would he say that?
And he also said he added that it's even better when it's a woman who's in college age women, because that's an indoctrination already, anyways. So it is interesting. He would say that
black women who don't know their fathers. 74% of black, single mothers. So of course he would go into those neighborhoods and try to get women who don't have fathers, and then try to come in as a father figure and then manipulate them in Marxism.
Well, the one girl said that she said, "I feel like I have a racist white person in my head, and I feel like it's my dad."
Yeah,
and she immediately went to attack her dad. You know what I mean? This is the beginning of trying to indoctrinate women to hate men.
But the way that they feel though came before they came to the class.
Yeah.
So they were already being indoctrinated through television and through probably just their regular. These women probably aren't even around a lot of people of color.
Oh no.
You know what I mean?
No.
But
they're not.
But just the indoctrination of just watching The View.
Yeah.
Or watching, because I'm sure they watch that.
Oh,
watch The View.
100%.
But there's always this. If you've ever noticed, there's always this push to get at women because left-wing women are very feminist. Right-wing women are feminist light.
Right.
So you'll see a lot of feminists. You'll see a lot of right-wing women, Megyn Kelly's, like these women, Candace Owens, that will say the right things. They don't beat up men, but they live like feminists.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, and then they're all for, well, she's not, but there are a lot of right women are for abortion. Girl power. You'll see that still even on the right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the reason why that you can see the reason why we talk about it is because you can see the manipulation of women alone. Yeah. This whole thing, even during the election, it was she's got all the women votes and he's got all the male votes. You know what I mean? And there's always this, I think there's more of a sex divide than there is a racial divide.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They use race.
That's what I'm saying. It's the guys of race.
And so that's why I see a bunch of people, two women of color, angry women of color, trying to get at the patriarchy. And the only way to do that is to sour the minds of not just white women, but all women.
They just added the racial element. As I told you with the Jasmine Crockett thing. If there has to be a racial element in order to get anything done on that side. Liberals won't get anything done without that. And the same thing with these ladies. They're not going to be able to dismantle the patriarchy until in case they add a racial element to it. It just adds more fuel to the fire.
I have this discussion with people that I know, friends, lawyers, everybody, and they'll say, well, Regina, there are some good white people. And I'll go, well, what have the good white people been doing for the last 450 years?
Of course, the white people just paid you $5,000 to yell at them over dinner. So funny. And of course, the Indian lady is the single whitest person at the dinner. But let's overthrow the patriarchy. Of course, they already overthrew the patriarchy. That's why they're so desperately unhappy. So the dinner goes on like this for 2 hours. And at one point, finally, two white women speak up to say, actually, we don't really think we're that racist. That's why we're paying you $5,000 to show that we're not. Ooh, shouldn't have said that. The instructors give them a public thrashing in front of the other ladies. Watch.
I have 2 young children, and it's important for me that they grow up colorblind, right?
So I've heard this a couple times already. Colorblind and you don't see color. And I'm just going to drop the bomb here. That's white supremacy.
My kids are biracial. So my husband is Hispanic and white, and I don't see color. I don't see. So how she said, I'm blinded to color. Like, it doesn't faze me at all.
You've mentioned it and you've mentioned it. Being married to a black person or a brown person, having brown or black children does not make you impervious to racism. You cannot, frankly, your way out of racism.
You can marry a black dude, but you're still racist. Because it's blood guilt, of course. It's inherent. You were born with it. It's in your DNA. Well, that's just kind of Rwanda stuff at that point, but they keep going. At the end of the dinner, the instructors asked for a show of hands of who at the table could now admit that they're racist. And of course, every single white woman, because they're all sheep, raises her hand and the group cheers in celebration.
So who in this room, raise your hand if you're a racist? Dang! Woo! We did it! Thank you. Thanks, guys.
So it feels like we're watching something culturally significant. The fever's probably already broken. That already looks a little bit antique, watching it even now. But in 10 years, we're going to be living in a completely different country, with a white minority, by the way. That will look even older and stranger. And what will we make of it? What should we make of it? What does that tell us about the people who run our country? And just to be clear, most people would never participate in something like that.
I mean, if you want to take power, I mean, I could see the hustle in it. I mean, it's basically pimping.
Yeah.
If you ever seen
a pimp try to get
seen a documentary called Pimps Up, Hoes Down? It's a very old HBO documentary. Yeah. And this is basically what they do. To just make it. They'll take these girls that are, these women that are, you know, vulnerable, and they don't really want to have sex with all these different men. But by the end of the documentary, they're all just hoes.
Yeah.
And they're all, the pimp just made them feel good about that. You know what I mean? So it's basically just pimping.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, look, people, yeah. I think. Again, this is the reason why I have said repeatedly that I don't think women should be in charge. It's because women are too vulnerable. We don't know how to stand up for ourselves, you know. And I know there's going to be some women, I stand up for myself all the time. But then why does this never really happen to men?
Right.
You know what I mean? This only seems to happen when we start, you know, when this manipulation starts with women and it affects men.
Yeah.
But it doesn't start with men. So all the men that you see that are beta males now, it's just because they got worn out. And a lot of them can't even get work unless they capitulate to feminism. You know, I think feminism is the devil. I talk about it all the time. I can't stand it. I think it holds women back. It's not for women at all. It's not to help women. It's not to help society. It's not to make us equal. It's to make, it's to blow up, you know, the social, or it's about the godly order, because these women don't believe in God.
So the two of our most, I don't say controversial, but like our most things that we get pushed back on the most, that we're conservative. Okay, that's always like a pushback from Black people. But the other one is that we don't think women should be in positions of power at that level. And this is something that a lot of women don't like when we say this. We said this last time in another video, and we got a slew of comments where women were like, Tulsi Gabbard could be, see, what about somebody like this? I'm like, look, okay, yeah, still even. I know, I like Tulsi.
I was just watching a video on Tulsi Gabbard the other day, and she's been married twice. Her first marriage, she was married, I mean, this was crazy. She got married, she had a Hindu marriage. She was with her husband for 2 years, and then she, in her own words, decided to go to the military for 18 months away from your husband, and she said it put a strain on our marriage.
You think?
Well, yeah,
you think?
And then they divorced. So then she got married years later to this guy she's married to now, and I'm just thinking, why would you do that? Why would you get married and then go off to the military for 18 months?
This is why this is what we're saying though when it comes to, like, I mean, even like this little show here. These are women. Okay, I'm talking the two women who host this thing. these women are on a power trip. Karen and I have been proven right so many times when it comes to this women in power thing. They utilize their power in the worst ways possible. Like, it is almost 100% of the time when women are in this position of power, they use it as a manipulation tactic. Or, you know what I mean? It's never to, like, better the country or better the situation or, you know, fight against racism. It's not really ever about that. It's always like some emotionally driven, you know, like manipulative situation. And so when women are in power, I really stand by this. I know we might be alone on this one. Like, there's not a lot of women who are thinking like this because they always say that we're pushing women back in the kitchen when we talk like this.
But what was wrong with the kitchen?
I know,
that's
right?
What I'm saying. I don't understand. What was wrong with the kitchen? You had a domain. You took care of the whole house. The dietary thing was on you to make sure that everybody was eating healthy. The education was on you. Most of this woke stuff didn't happen in school because women, because they were at home, could go to the schools all the time. And those teachers didn't pull that stuff with these people in the 50s and 60s. They didn't, because they saw the mother all the time, because most women were at home. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just a lot of things that we monitor what we were watching on, kids were monitor what they were listening to. Monitor what, now they're just watching anything. Cardi B, anything they want to watch, because no one's home anymore. You know what I mean? And so there was there's been a family pull apart. Even when women started to vote, it pulled apart the family, because when you have a man voting for his family, we're voting under him because he's the head of the house. He makes the big decisions. But if you put a woman using her own, you know, sort of political thinking, it pulls you away from your husband. Because if you're liberal, and your husband's conservative, it's going to cause friction in the house. Just look how everybody treated each other when you said you voted for Donald Trump.
Some women wanted to get a divorce. Could you imagine
if you were a liberal woman, your husband voted for Trump, how that might have probably torn you up? It did. It tore up a lot of friends and families.
I just find that it's always like this when it comes, like when we're watching the Jasmine Crockett thing, for instance. You see how out of control she is with her emotions. She does not have her emotions at all in check in that situation. She is literally, like, I've seen, like, for instance, you know, Gates. Okay, so I've seen him tell off people. Right? But it's done differently. Like, it says men are different when they are in this position of power. It's not an emotional kind of like meltdown. When I look at Jasmine, she was having a meltdown. These two women that were doing this dinner, they're on a power trip.
I was watching this Vodi Bakum had this sermon once. He was talking about the fact that he said women are always trying to get away from the patriarchy. They're always trying to get away from the patriarchy. And he's like, and I'm thinking, what was so bad about the patriarchy? He said, so God made a man to be able to protect his family. He said, so what's better? We just impregnate you and leave you alone to take care of it. He said, is that better? Is that what you want? I'm going to keep my name because I don't want to take his name. So I'm going to keep my father's name.
Yeah. Wow.
It's just this sort of bizarre thing that women think that they're just like, you don't have to be that. You're trying too hard. You're not making anytime, and nothing that's on the feminist side or even on the Democratic side brings families together. It just separates you.
I feel that we are actually right about this.
I am.
Y'all, I really know that we stand alone, or very few women will take this position. Karen and I obviously are able to voice our opinions. We have an entire show voicing our opinions, right? So clearly we're not that type of woman where we're scared, okay? We don't have that on. But I do feel that the biblical order
is right,
always will be right, will never be wrong. We're seeing very odd things right now. We're seeing, through the leadership of women, we're seeing women in men in women's sports. Through the leadership of women, we're seeing the borders wide open. Joe Biden hired a bunch of women. He DEI'd everybody in, okay, including Kamala Harris, then made her the border czar. You see what I'm saying? The leadership of women, we seem to be being proven right every time. You know, y'all,
women are over children.
Yeah.
Not over men. It's the wrong order. And I'm just telling you, I can go on all day about how the patriarch has always helped our country.
Yeah.
You can say all you want about abusive men. That's not all men.
It's not.
You can say all things about absent fathers. That's not all men either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The majority of regular men are hardworking, and patriotic, and family loving, and just want to do right for their family. That is the majority of men.
Prove me wrong.
But you tell me
wrong on
one
that.
thing that feminism has done for women.
We have been talking about feminism since we had this show, you know, and I fail to find any good in that at all. I don't see any success. It's a failed experiment. It does not work. Right? But when it seems that when men get put back in charge, all of a sudden, people are starting to straighten up a little bit. You remember that video? We did a video a long time ago where Jasmine, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and AOC got into it went viral. They got into a big argument on this floor, on the Congress floor. Okay, they were doing something, and they got into an argument.
Do you know what we're here for? You know we're here about AG.
I don't think you know what you're here for.
Well, you the one talking about.
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No, ain't nothing.
Hold
on.
Listen.
Order, Mr. Chairman.
That is absolutely unacceptable. How dare you attack the physical appearance of another person?
Are your feelings hurt?
Her words down.
Aww.
Oh, girl, baby girl.
Oh, really?
Don't even play,
baby girl.
If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
Now, I pointed out that we have a black woman, Hispanic woman, a white woman. We have Republicans, some Democrats. It didn't matter. It doesn't matter. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a Republican white woman. Okay, but even she was going on and talking and yelling and calling each other names. It's like,
they weren't even talking about policy anymore. They were roasting each other. That's what they were all doing. But all of them, they were doing that. And if you look in the back and you don't look at the women anymore, you just look at the men. They're basically like, "Oh my God, can you move on?" Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's get back to business. You know what I mean? But this is what you get. And I know that people are going to say things like, "Oh, well, what about Tulsi Gabbard? Who's the other one?" And then Arizona. The one from Arizona,
Carrie Lake.
I like these women. I love Candace Owens.
They're great.
I believe in most of the things. Almost
Megyn Kelly.
I love Megyn Kelly. But they are women. And they will sit down to being a woman in 5 seconds if they feel attacked.
Yeah.
If they feel, you know what I mean? They will. I'm just saying,
I know.
Stop getting all excited and all stuff. Like,
people
think
don't see our
logically.
point. But look, people don't see our point on this because we're in 2024 and they think that we're too old school thinking. But I don't think this is about old school.
It's not old school.
I think
this is logic.
I also just think it's an order that comes to that's natural for all of us. And when we resist that order, it's when we start getting angry women. See, how many times we pointed this out? Like, I do feel that these women that we just highlighted today, Jasmine, these women, okay. So I feel that if they were in their proper place as women, feminine women, being feminine, and then latching on that, sitting in that, I don't think they're going to be this angry. I'm sorry. I just do not believe that women would be this angry if they would stop resisting being women. And so when we start, and I don't know. And even though I see men who are feminized, like when I'm talking about like beta men, right? And they latch onto the feminist ideology too, right? Even those men, I feel they would be happier men if they would just lean into masculinity. But it's because they are trying to be on the feminine side and be soft and emotional. They're annoyed. They get annoyed and frustrated. They make a lot of YouTube videos and they just sit down and have TikTok videos and talk about how frustrated they are with the world. And I'm like, what? No. It's backwards.
Mark Dice said, I don't know, this is just random. Mark Dice said, he was talking about something, he said, oh my God. He said, I checked in my comments and I have I realized I had a lot of snowflakes in my own home. And he's just like, he's like, subscribers, unsubscribe and never come back.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care because he'll want that energy in his audience anyway. I can't remember what he was talking about, but that's just random. That was funny to me because I like I do think that we are missing the differences between the two. And I think that is the most of the problem. You know, they always say, like, people think that we have so many problems, but a lot of the problems we have are small things that if we just fixed, we would see that it is just the fact that we are overstepping in areas where, you know, people, oh, well, you can do what you want. Right, but should you? Yeah. See, you can do anything. You can rob a liquor store, but should you?
Whenever someone pushes back on, which is everyone, when they push back on us on this whole women being empowered thing, and every woman can do it. I used to be part of this and that and the other, and I ran this. I'm like, okay, look, I get it. Okay, you ran something. I understand. But whenever we talk about something biblical, and then women will be like, oh, yep, you guys are right about that. That's right, you know. And then when I come back with the, but you know, the biblical order is that men are, you know, Christ above men, men above women. You know, the whole, I go down the order. They're like, but women can lead. I'm like, so you're okay with the biblical stuff. So until you're okay with what we're saying, until we bring up women being powerful, women being in power. Like, we have power in a different way. But when you bring that up, all of a sudden, all the biblical stuff, they love all the stuff. A lot of women love all the Bible stuff, right? Until you start talking about the order. The main thing is the order, and when you start talking about that, then they're like, wait. No. I believe in the Bible, but women can lead. I'm like, well, no, it's not a part of the Bible. What do you mean?
Like, I mean, it just is the truth. You know what I mean? I think, look, again, I don't like to throw this out, but I'm a strong woman. I actually have opinions. You know what I mean? You know what? What's so funny? I mean, I hate when
you said I'm a strong woman.
Because I hate saying that, because that sounds very
I know, I hate
tooting your own horn.
I
hate doing that.
We never say
But clearly I have an opinion, and I'm not going to let some man just come in my life and then treat me bad. That's not going to happen.
We have a whole show.
You know what I mean? But I'm not stupid.
I know.
You know what I mean? It's just like, come on. If we have the option of a woman being president and a capable man who's really good.
Yeah.
If both the man and the woman are both very good, I'm picking the man. You want to talk about kids, I'm talking to the woman. You know what I mean? When you want to talk about something else that happens to do with, you know, detailing and then I'm all day with women. You know, but when you want to talk about securing borders, you want to talk about anything that has to do with securing things and providing and making sound decisions without emotions, it's men all day for me. That couple that Tucker was showing.
Yeah. The lady in that.
We're gonna have a country full of that.
No, thank you.
We're dead if that happens. We're a done country if that happens.
What did Palm Homan say? We're done.
We're done.
We're done.
You're done. You're done.
And I'm just saying that because I love being a woman, and I miss femininity in women. You know what I mean?
I just don't think it should be. Look, y'all, we just gonna have to lose this fight. We're gonna have to just agree to disagree on this one, because I know a lot of women hate when we say this, but I just, and we've been talking about this for quite some time, and every time this is the pushback we get with this, but I'm like, but I'm sorry, I just have to go with my gut feeling and then my feminine nature. And when we're talking about this particular subject, we are talking about the rule right now. Sorry, you'll never get me to think differently about that. And I know women in the military, I know women cops. Our great aunt,
my grandmother's sister.
Our great aunt was a police officer.
The first one. She was one of the first lady cops.
It was a group of women lady cops here in Indiana when they first started including women into the police force. And she was part of the first group of women to be police, to be a part of the police force. So when I tell you that we know that women can be tough, we know that. It's in our family, our blood. So my last point on this is that a lot of women will say, oh, Deborah in the Bible, right? So they go to the Deborah in the Bible. And Deborah was a leader in the Bible. She was picked to be a leader by God. So we know her position in the Bible was very important. I get that. Again, even in that situation, she was the exception. She was not the rule. If the whole Bible was about women leading and men not, then okay, we got a conversation going. But you cannot bring up Deborah Peter only. You can't
Abraham,
do that.
Isaac, Jacob, David,
we'll be here forever.
Solomon. Let's just keep going. The patriarchy was God wanted to be called
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Wanted the pronoun.
Right.
God wanted to be known as a man.
So
he's not one, but he wanted the pronouns. Why? Because he wanted men ahead of women, because he made man first.
Yes,
he made us from them.
Actually, I do want to hear what y'all have to say about this. I mean, like, because we've brought this up, and sometimes not even in a...
And I better not have no snowflakes. No snowflakes in my own house.
Loosen it. Yeah, y'all gonna have to give us y'all best debate on this woman empowerment. Yes, do that. Give us your best counterpoint to what we were saying.
Don't be giving exceptions.
Don't give exceptions.
People love to do that. They get it. Oh, and there was this one time in my life back in the day when my mother slayed. She was a welder. She was doing, you know, it's like, okay, that's an individual, isolated situation. I'm talking about in general. Like, make it bigger.
Make it a counterpoint to what we were saying. Okay, do you think that things would be better if women were in charge majority?
I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna say no, but what say you?
What say you?
But what say you? All right, you done?
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Leave some comments below. We would love to hear your thoughts on all this. And that's it. So, you guys, this is going to be the last video for this week. It's Thanksgiving this week. We want to wish you guys all a happy Thanksgiving. We are very grateful to you guys for joining in our conversations every week. And, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for getting past 50,000 subscribers.
Oh, your Lord. Thanit for that.
I can't believe that.
I really appreciate that.
I really
grateful for that.
I appreciate you all for subscribing to us. I mean,
your perspectives.
When you don't think you're that interesting, and people still subscribe.
Yeah.
I'm the most boringest person.
I know, we are so boring. All right, but you guys, yeah, so happy Thanksgiving, you guys. And, yep, that's it. Okay, so now I'm going to watch the video.